Hello everyone, my name is Tero M and I am a jazz musician as well as the founder of Tero M Jazz Media. So today we have with us a very awesome guy who is a visionary, an entrepreneur and a guy from Africa called Johnny. Hello Johnny, it's such an honor to have you on my show. Oh my god.
Hello, Tseho. Thank you very much for having me on your show. It's indeed an honor to be here.
Bless you. So who is Johnny and what does he do?
Johnny is a storyteller who is passionate about the African continent. I want to work to make the world as it should be. The purpose of my existence is to make a difference in the lives of people. What I do at this point in time, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a director, I'm a producer. I'm also the chairman and founder of the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce. So I do business consulting, I do advisory, I also do training and skill development. I'm also in the process of opening a film school. So that's basically what I do.
Wow. And when did your journey with Pan-African Chamber begin?
I started the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce in 2015 after my involvement with the French South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I started with the French around 2010. So in 2015, I wanted to establish my own platform because I was limited working within these European Union Chambers of Commerce. So the PACC was established in 2015 to foster a continental entrepreneurship and SME development strategy. So it started basically because I saw the gap in the marketplace and I wanted to close that gap by connecting African entrepreneurs together socially, culturally, economically, politically.
Interesting. So what prompted you to start Pan-African Chamber?
What prompted me to start the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce was the fact that I realized that many entrepreneurs from South Africa and other parts of the continent did not have an organization or a platform that would connect them across borders. So if there's an entrepreneur in South Africa who want to go and do business in Zimbabwe, they did not know who to speak to in South Africa. So I saw that gap and I realized that I can actually set up a platform here, a platform that will empower entrepreneurs, give them access to information, access to market, access to opportunities beyond their natural borders. It is South African entrepreneurs getting into Zambia. It is Ghanaian entrepreneurs getting into South Africa. It is entrepreneurs from Cote d'Ivoire getting into Senegal and stuff like that. There was no unique voice in Africa that supports small businesses at a continental level. It is basically for that reason that I decided to set up the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce to become a catalyst in transforming the business landscape in Africa through innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. I was really prompted by my responsibility to Africa. My responsibility to Africa is to see that our continent succeeds, and for Africa to succeed, its people must succeed, its entrepreneurs must succeed, its women must succeed, its government must succeed. So it's an all-inclusive strategy of promoting continental breakthrough. So that is basically what made me start this organization.
Wow, excellent. So who is your role model in Africa and why?
My role model in Africa is President Thabo Mbeki. He is my role model because of the role he played in uniting Africa politically, economically, and culturally. He played a very important role in this African unity, African integration. So from 1998 to 2008, he led together with the Nigerian president Olusegun Obasanjo what is called the Decade of African Diplomacy, the Decade of Golden African Diplomacy. So he played a very critical role. So in our lifetime, President Thabo Mbeki is a foremost Pan-Africanist who has played a very, very important role, not only of taking South Africa to the world, but also bringing the world not only to South Africa, but to the African continent. He led a very clean government in South Africa for almost a decade. We did not have these challenges of electricity, load shedding and stuff like that. And corruption was managed. People who were found corrupt in South Africa were thrown out of government, they were fired. There was Scorpions, which was actually a crime-busting unit that was actually dealing with people irrespective of their political status. This agency was actually going after those people. So I truly believe that he played a very important role, not only at home in South Africa, as they say, charity begins at home, but he also led, peace missions, basically working to provide stability in Cote d'Ivoire, in Burundi, and many other countries on the continent.
Wow. And I see you following his footsteps in the business world. So can you please tell me a little bit more about Pan-African Chamber?
The Pan-African Chamber of Commerce provides members with a voice. It provides members with access. It also provides them with opportunities for empowerment. It means that we are also able to give them, support. We are also able to give them opportunities beyond what many other organizations out there provide. As an organization, we promote what we call the African Agenda. So this African Agenda is divided into three parts. We have the African Agenda for Youth, that looks at education, employment, and entrepreneurship. We have the African Agenda for Women, which is about mainstreaming women's economic participation in Africa through private-public partnership. And the last one is the African Agenda for Culture. The Agenda for Culture positions African culture at the heart of economic development and cooperation. So as an organization, we want to make sure that Africa's contribution to the global creative economy, as we speak, it sits at about 2%. We want to change that and make sure that by the end of this decade, we will be able to contribute to about 10%. That is basically the plan we have. We have a lot of projects as an organization, from music awards to festivals. There's a lot of projects that we are developing.
I love that. So, how has the COVID-19 affected you as a businessman?
COVID-19 has affected us in a very big way as an organization, because at the end of 2019, we had put out a calendar for our event for 2020. We were actually supposed to host close to 20 events last year. So as a Chamber of Commerce, we host conferences with policymakers, the private sector, with entrepreneurs, with change makers across Africa and internationally. So we were supposed to host 20 events last year. Unfortunately, we managed to do only 2 conferences at the beginning of last year. So we did the Case for Female Leadership with Athena 4.0 at the Sandton Convention Center. We did the Women in Business Conference in partnership with the Netherlands Business Chamber of Commerce, the French Chamber, the German Chamber, the Belgian Chamber, and the Italian Chamber. So this was a multi-chamber conference. These were the only 2 events we managed to host last year, because immediately after hosting those events, lockdown came, and basically the entire year was wasted. So that was actually the biggest impact that the virus or the pandemic had on our business. So as a Chamber of Commerce, if you are not able to bring people out in person, actually it took a very long time for people to get used to connecting online. yeah, it was a very, very big impact. We are, even this year, we have still cancelled more events as well. So it is going to look like 2 years have been actually affected. The event we're supposed to have in May, this year we can't have them because our events basically have more than 400 people, 500 people. Sometimes the biggest event we wanted to host, we're going to have about 2,000 people. So at this stage of lockdown, I know we are on level 1, you cannot also bring 1,000 people under one roof. It's just impossible. So it has affected us in a very, very big way, especially around live events, conferences, training, skills development, master classes, around trade and economic development. It has been really difficult, but we are picking up the pieces. The show must always go on. That's basically where we are.
Yeah, this COVID-19 has really created a lot of setbacks, but you're so right, the show must go on. On that case, what advice would you give to an upcoming artist or business person?
The advice I would give a new artist or a business person, a young entrepreneur, is that they need to do as much research as possible to know what is going on in that sector. A young artist need to understand copyright laws, need to understand contracts, need to understand partnerships, because if you don't deal with those things earlier on in your career, they will actually become a very big hindrance towards the end of your career. For a young entrepreneur who's starting up, you need to know as much as possible about the sector that you want to go in. You need to look at the ownership structure of that sector. But on top of all of this, whether you are a young artist or you're a young entrepreneur, you need to be authentic. You need to be you, because everyone else is taken. Don't try to be somebody else that you are not. Don't try to copy another artist. Don't try to sound like another artist. If you want to sound like another artist, and one day they put you on the same stage to perform, you will not have your voice, because that voice you have, the style you have, the way to perform that you have, you stole it from that person. So we cannot have the two people, the same people who are the same on the same stage. So be authentic, read as much as you can about any industry. So if you are in music, you need to know more about the industry. If you are in film, you need to know where the opportunities are. When it comes to film, if you are in manufacturing, you need to read as much as possible. You need to follow people who are thought leaders in those sectors so that you have up-to-date information about the future of that particular sector. Information, information, information. Get informed. Have mentors. Build support structures. But at the end of the day, you must never give up. It's not easy being an artist. It's not easy being in business. But if you don't give up, you'll eventually succeed. So don't give up. Know your market. But before you even know your market, you need to know who you are. Because you cannot give to people what you are not. So know who you are. Build your own brand. And of course, be passionate. You have to have that fire burning, whether it's for business or it's for the art. So be authentic. Don't try to be somebody else that you are not, because it will come back to bite you.
Exactly. The more knowledgeable we are, the lesser desperate we become. And there's nothing as beautiful as being authentic in this game. I love that so much, Johnny. So I'm so curious to know, what have your greatest achievements been by far?
My greatest achievement so far has been to live my dream. So when you have an idea and you see it in the marketplace, you see how people are responding to it, according to me, that is success. Success is relative, right? Success for me is not the same thing as success for the other person. So just the fact that I have an organization that has executives from the US, from the UK, from South Africa here, and other countries in Africa, I believe that has been my biggest achievement. And of course, some of the projects that we have coming up as well, the way people have jumped on these projects, the excitement they have over these projects. also excite me. Also, achievement for me is also futuristic. So you can see that the project we're working on is going to succeed based on how people have actually embraced the project. So we've built strong partnerships over the last 6 years with the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce, with the European Union, with the African Development Bank, with the International Chamber of Commerce, the World Trade Organization, all these other European chambers of commerce. That also, according to me, is an achievement. We've been able to bring a lot of partners to the party to support the work we're doing as an organization. And also now, recently, by the way, we launched the Africa Film Commission. The Africa Film Commission is in South Africa. We've launched it in Nigeria. We've launched it in the US. We've launched it in Canada and also in the UK. So that's also a very exciting project that makes it possible for Africans here at home and Africans abroad to connect through this story called Africa. So that is basically, I see that as an achievement.
I love how you define success. You go Johnny, 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 Johnny. On that note, what can we expect from you in 2021?
In 2021, what can be expected from me is a lot of things. But the most important one is actually the South Africa season that I'm hosting in America this year in September. I will also be hosting a fashion show, a conference with women entrepreneurs in Johannesburg here in South Africa around June, July. So we have about 4 events we're planning this year, including, of course, the international film festivals that I'm going to be hosting. One is called the Made in Africa Film Festival. It is going to be based in Atlanta, in the US. I'm really looking forward to this film summit and film festival. So there's a lot of other things, but just watch the space. Some of these things will be discovered when we roll them out in the marketplace.
Okay. Oh yes, I'm definitely watching the space. So, any word of motivation to a black child out there?
A black child, believe me when I say you are smart enough. Never second guess your capabilities. You are more than capable of doing anything that you set out to do. I encourage you not to be afraid, to unleash the best in you. Shine bright like an excellent cut-out brilliant diamond, and dare to succeed without apology. So what I want to say to young black kids out there is that you are smart enough, you are amazing enough, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Oh wow, I'm so motivated myself as well, Johnny. And I just want to say thank you so much. I love the fact that you're not just passionate about your success, but you're also passionate about the success of other people. May the good Lord continue to bless you and may you prosper. I'm definitely going to watch this place because there's so much we're going to see from you. I believe that. And thank you to everyone who has viewed. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I am Tero M.